Welcome to Subramani. So I had this longish discussion with my broker about whether I was wired very differently from others, because to me the greater fear was me not participating in the market when the market goes up, rather than worry about what happens to my portfolio when the market comes down. So he spoke to me for some time, and we realized that for both of us, the fact is we are more afraid of not participating in a rally than worrying about what will happen to our portfolios when the market goes down. And I think this comes from basic confidence in our own portfolios and knowing that we have enough money in debt and maybe some little bit of real estate, enough to pay for our day-to-day expenses for the rest of our lives and for any other goals that we may have or may not have, right? So largely to a great extent, the money is compounding for fun's sake rather than for meeting a particular goal. So if you have reached that stage when you are just in the process of creating wealth, which might make your life more comfortable, or you would be indifferent, like whether you reach a stage when you're indifferent whether your portfolio is growing at 8% or 18%, then you are actually worried more about not participating in a rally. I think it also comes from the fact that there is a deep understanding that any fall is temporary, right? So if I see the market plunging from say 52,000 index to 42,000 index, I know that it will come back. Now the only regret, if you say, should be, I wish I had sold at 52,000 so that I can buy it back at 42,000, or maybe buy it back at 38,000. The question is, what is your mindset at 42,000? If you think it is going to go down to say 35,000, then at 42,000 you are wondering whether to sell and buy back, and the answer is you don't know, right? So largely, again, taking off from a Buffett quote, when the market moved from 100 in 1979 to 52,000 today, or maybe to 85,000 today on a TRI basis. I know the TRI is at 78,000, but that is only starting 1991. If you start from 1978, I think the TRI should be more like 90,000 plus. So in this journey, the only way you could have lost money is buying shares on your own and having very bad stock picking skills, and secondly, jumping in and out of the market. There's no other way how you could have lost your money in a journey which went like this, right? So largely, if you have accepted that the market will go up always, and if the market goes down, it is temporary and it will come back, and you have enough money in debt funds for meeting your next 1, 2, 3, 5 years expenses or whatever. In some of our cases, say 30 years expenses for the rest of our lives. Honestly, it is just academic how much the portfolio goes up or goes down. Yes, you feel bad if the market comes down, but you know you're still going to be an investor. You're still going to put in 1, 2, 3 lakhs per month. So it's okay. If the market goes down, you put in more money. But let's look at it this way. In 2007, you had accumulated say 1 crore. And the market fell in 2008 from say 21,000 to 10,000. It fell to 9. So which means your 1 crore became 50 lakhs. That is not easy to handle, because now we are saying after that the market went up. But at that stage, I remember a TV program which I was watching, and Shankar Sharma said the market will go down to 6,000 on the index. So from 9,000, you're saying, will it get wiped out another 50%? So your 1 crore, which has become 50 lakhs, you have a prospect of it becoming 25 lakhs, which must be far lesser than the amount of money that you had invested perhaps. Right? If that is the mindset, the question is, can you sit tight during that period and not sell? The most important thing to realize is, for some people like us, selling is not an option at all when the market goes down. When the market goes down, you may buy, may not buy. Ideally, you should buy, but if you don't buy, that's fine. You should not sell. You should have enough money. I call this the portfolio with cash insurance. You have some money in cash, which is your insurance against drawing down during a bad market, right? So if you know that you have control over yourself, then your bigger worry is not participating in the rise rather than protecting the downside, because the downside will happen, it is temporary, it will come back, so it does not bother you. But everybody does not reach that stage, and everybody cannot reach that stage on day one, because it's with your own experience you realize. I can tell you the market goes from 100 to 52,000, and from 52,000 it may go down to 45,000, but it will again go back to 65,000 in a few years. So if you are very confident that you don't need the money for a few years, perhaps decades, perhaps a century, whatever, then I don't see why you should be afraid and react in fear. The fear which drives you to action in the equity market is the biggest worry for you, right? Of course, there are other stupidities which you can do, is to believe that you can pick stocks better than a fund manager, therefore invest in direct equity. Perfectly all right, but you have to check out your own track record to see whether it is really worthwhile. I can now say it was worthwhile for me, because for me the journey of wealth creation is over. Now I'm very happy if I can do wealth preservation and make sure that it is going ahead of inflation. I have dividend income which I can trust will grow enough to meet my day-to-day expenses. I have enough money in debt to meet my day-to-day expenses. Now, having said all this, it gives me confidence that I can afford to take risk, and therefore when the market goes down, it does not worry me. Now you take the hunter-gatherer days, you largely believed that your life depended on whether you avoided the tiger. It did not matter whether you picked up some extra fruits and extra roots, right? Avoiding the tiger was the most important thing that you had to do, because assuming you picked up more carrots and roots the previous day and you had a good meal, but if you became the meal for the tiger, then your life was over, right? So the fact that we are here, it means we had the genes of an ancestor who was afraid of risk. He was a guy who, when he saw an animal far away which looked a little yellow in color, he just climbed up a tree, simply because better safe than sorry. So understand this. In the hunter-gatherer days, protecting yourself from risk was the most important thing, because the tiger did not negotiate, and say, I'll take away one hand, I'll take away one leg. That was not possible. Tiger attacking meant death. As simple as that. And tiger was not the only animal which could attack you. Even a simple cobra could sting you, because you walked past it, you walked on top of it, or you were close enough, you felt threatened. It didn't matter. So the fact is you had to survive. But today risk is not like that. If you think the market is going to go down and you have a big portfolio, let's say you have a portfolio of 1 crore. You can always sell 20 lakhs worth of shares and wait with 80 lakhs. If you think the market has come down from say 20,000 to 9,000, or say 52,000 to 40,000, right? So then what you do is to say, okay, I can partially sell and partially wait. Such a thing was not possible in the Stone Ages, right? So risk reduction techniques are available, portfolio diversification is available. So have a big range of shares, or have the Vanguard World Index Fund, because if you believe in the index fund, you have to believe in the world index fund. You can't believe in only the Indian index fund, because it makes no sense. India is what, 2% of the world market cap. You can't believe in 2% of the world market cap and not believe in 98% of the world market cap. So if you have a world market index and a world bond index, the fact that you put into these two funds is good enough. But if you are a stock picker, you need to know some more about profit booking, etc. But basic understanding that when the market goes down, it will go up. The fact that your money is in low-cost funds, or you are handling your equity portfolio directly, this is good enough, right? So all you need to know is the conviction, total conviction in believing that if the market goes down, it will come up. And this has always happened in the past, and therefore that 100 has become 90,000, right? So as long as you can get these things into your head and be in an index fund or some well-managed fund, then life is good, right? Thank you.